There have been some recent signings, and today we're going to break them down. Of course, we're talking about the linebackers, but there are also a couple of other signings that we need to discuss: a wide receiver and another cornerback. It seems like everyone on social media is freaking out over these Charger signings, and not in a good way. It's been a pretty wild reaction, even from some of the fan base. So let's dive into it and talk through everything. First off, let's talk about Jalen Reagor, who has been extended. A lot of people are questioning why we signed him. I get it. His past production hasn't been stellar. He was drafted by the Eagles and hasn't really made a huge impact. Reagor was selected in the first round, 21st overall, but over the years, he's only started 27 out of 64 regular season games for teams like the Eagles, Vikings, Patriots, and Chargers. In his career, he has 86 receptions for about 1,000 yards. Clearly, he's not an elite player, but the Chargers saw something in him when we picked him up last season. Now, I know some people have issues with TCU players, but in this case, I think Reagor could be a solid addition. He's not going to be a star right away, but he might provide value, especially in special teams or as a punt returner. If he can develop his ability to run routes, he could carve out a role. I know this isn't the flashy signing everyone wanted, but sometimes these are the kind of pickups that can surprise you down the line. What do you all think about it? I'm sure the comments will be interesting, so let's hear your thoughts. Next up is Troy Dye, who I personally think was a great, affordable signing. He's a solid depth linebacker and a good special teams player. He wasn't the most outstanding linebacker, but he showed up when needed. In 17 games with the Chargers, he made 5 starts, recording career highs with 52 tackles, 31 solo tackles, and 1.5 sacks. He may not be a standout player, but he's a reliable depth piece. Some fans might not be thrilled with this move, but I think it's a smart addition to the roster. Now, I understand that these aren't the big-name signings that get everyone excited, but that's not always what you need. Depth is important, and adding veterans who can step up when needed is a key part of building a strong team. I get why some fans might be frustrated, but at the end of the day, these moves help strengthen the roster in important ways. We'll talk more about this and other developments in a bit, but just know that sometimes the quiet moves are the ones that pay off. Troy Dye is back with the Chargers, and I have to say, I'm happy about the pickup. I know he's not the most exciting signing, but he's solid and knows what he's doing. That experience is valuable. He started 13 out of 77 career games with the Vikings and Chargers. Over his career, he's racked up 106 tackles, 56 solo tackles, 2.5 sacks, 2 pass breakups, and 3 tackles for loss. Depth is crucial, especially for a long, tough season, and having a veteran linebacker like Dye helps make sure you have reliable options. It's always good to strengthen your linebacker core with a guy who can step in when needed. Now, let's talk about Denzel Perryman. I know this is a move that many fans were hoping for, and I'm thrilled to see him back. I don't think he ever wanted to leave. He's a guy who plays with so much heart, and I'm sure he wants to finish his career with the Chargers. Perryman is a physical force on the field. He's not the best in coverage, but he's a great fit for stopping the run. He plays with intensity. I wouldn't be surprised if Henley pushed for his return, as I think they had good chemistry on the field. The deal is very team-friendly, which makes it even better. Even if Perryman takes on more of a secondary role in 2025, his presence in the locker room is valuable. The linebacker position is tough. You're always in the middle of the action, and injuries are common. Perryman only played 11 games last season due to injuries, but he's always a guy you want on your team. Whether he's playing or helping mentor younger players, he brings a lot of value. If he does retire after the 2025 season, I wouldn't be shocked to see him transition into a coaching role. Maybe he'll end up as a linebackers coach, but we'll see how everything plays out. Again, not the most glamorous signing, but a smart one that adds depth and leadership to the team. As for the cornerback position, I've seen a lot of frustration online, and I can't help but feel like some fans are overreacting. I like our cornerback group. Sure, there are always things to work on, but the amount of anger on social media is just crazy. It almost feels like people are ready to burn the stadium down with how mad they are about these moves. It's just wild. Yes, it's fine to have strong opinions, but let's try to keep it in perspective, folks. Let's talk about Benjamin St-Juste, a 2021 third-round pick from Washington State. He only spent one season with Jim Harbaugh at Michigan, but it's clear that Harbaugh knows what he's getting with St-Juste. At 6 feet 3 inches and 200 pounds, he's a big, physical corner, very similar in size to Cam Hart, though Hart might be a little bigger. St-Juste will join a strong cornerback group that already includes Dante Jackson, a very solid zone corner. I think St-Juste has the potential to do well here too. It's clear that Harbaugh and Jesse Minor know him well and believe in his ability. Look at the cornerback room. Dante Jackson, Tar Heil, Cam Hart, Dean Leonard, Jeer Taylor, and now Benjamin St-Juste. That's a deep, talented group. As Brandon Staley has said, you can never have too many cornerbacks, and I completely agree. We might still draft a cornerback too, and remember, Elijah Molden can also step in if needed. This is a strong cornerback unit, and I'm excited about it. St-Juste has appeared in 54 career games with 45 starts. Over the past 2 seasons, he started 30 games and helped the Washington Commanders reach the NFC Championship game. Last season, he set a career high with 71 tackles, added 7 passes defended, and even forced a fumble. At just 27 years old, he's young and ready to contribute. With Cam Hart dealing with injuries last season, St-Juste will be a great addition to an already solid cornerback room, working alongside Dante Jackson. Depth in the cornerback position is key, and I'm confident this group will be one of the strongest parts of the defense. Who knows, we may even add another player to the mix, but I'm already happy with where we stand in the secondary. Now, defensively, I do think we could still use another defensive lineman. We'll likely see some of those positions addressed in the draft. The majority of the signings so far have been on the defensive side of the ball, so I think it's safe to say we'll continue building there. But at the same time, it's important to remember that we also have 10 draft picks this year. That's a lot of opportunities to bring in talent and depth. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. This team is building through the draft. We'll add veterans where needed, but we have a lot of young talent that will help fill in the gaps. I know fans are craving those big-name, splashy moves, but sometimes it's about adding those solid, under-the-radar players that make a real difference. It's not always the sexy picks, but they're the moves that will help the team in the long run. We've got to give these rookies a chance to push the veterans for playing time, and that's how the team will grow and improve. So, what do you think about these moves? I know the comments will be full of strong opinions. Feel free to leave your thoughts below.